What happens if you keep using your phone all day? Not just occasionally, but continuously. From the moment you wake up to the moment you fall asleep, with constant scrolling, notifications, and short bursts of information. At first, it feels normal. You are entertained, informed, and connected. But beneath that, your brain is adapting to a new pattern of stimulation. Let's start with dopamine. Dopamine is not just about pleasure. It is about motivation and reward prediction. And every time you receive a notification or scroll to a new piece of content, your brain experiences a small, unpredictable dopamine release. This unpredictability is critical. Variable reward schedules are known to produce stronger reinforcement, which is why scrolling becomes difficult to stop. Over time, repeated dopamine spikes lead to downregulation of dopamine receptors, meaning your brain becomes less sensitive to reward signals. This is called reward desensitization. Now your baseline changes. Activities that used to feel engaging, reading, working, even conversations, begin to feel less stimulating. Now let's look at attention. Your brain is designed for sustained attention, but phone use creates rapid context switching. Each scroll, each swipe, each notification forces your attentional system to reset. This creates what is known as attentional fragmentation. Instead of maintaining a stable focus network, your brain remains in a reactive state, constantly shifting but never stabilizing. Now consider the prefrontal cortex. This region is responsible for executive control, including focus, planning, and impulse regulation, and sustained attention requires continuous activation of this system. But frequent interruptions weaken this sustained activation, reducing your ability to maintain focus over time. Now let's introduce the salience network. This network determines what your brain considers important, and constant exposure to novel, high-intensity stimuli recalibrates this system. As a result, normal stimuli feel less relevant, and your brain begins to prioritize only high-stimulation inputs. Now add the default mode network. This network is active during rest and is essential for memory consolidation, self-reflection, and creative processing. But constant phone use eliminates true rest periods. Your brain rarely enters this state. Without it, cognitive recovery decreases. Now let's connect this to cognitive load. Each piece of information you consume adds to processing demand, and even passive scrolling requires evaluation, comparison, and interpretation. This accumulates. Over time, your brain becomes overloaded. Now let's add psychological factors. Your brain begins to prefer low-effort, high-reward activities because they are efficient in terms of energy use. This shifts behavior. Scrolling becomes easier than thinking. Consumption becomes easier than creation. Now consider emotional regulation. Constant exposure to information, social comparison, and rapid content changes increases baseline anxiety and reduces emotional stability. Your brain remains slightly activated, not stressed enough to notice, but not calm enough to recover. Now think about daily patterns. You wake up and immediately check your phone. This introduces stimulation before your brain has completed its natural recovery cycle. From that point on, your cognitive system is continuously engaged. Now here is the key insight. The issue is not total screen time. It is frequency and lack of recovery. Your brain is not designed for constant input. It requires cycles of stimulation and rest. Without rest, adaptation occurs. Now, what happens long-term? Your attention span decreases. Your motivation drops. Your tolerance for boredom declines. Your mental energy becomes unstable. This is not dramatic. It is gradual. And that is why it goes unnoticed. Now, how do you reverse it? First, reduce frequency of checking. Not just total time, but but how often you interrupt your own attention. Second, create no input periods. Time where your brain is not processing new information. Third, rebuild sustained attention. Work in uninterrupted blocks. Fourth, reintroduce boredom. Because boredom allows the brain to reset reward sensitivity. Fifth, regulate stimulation intensity. Not all input needs to be high intensity. And finally, be aware of the baseline. Because most people think they are tired, but they are overstimulated. And once stimulation decreases, your brain recalibrates. Focus returns, motivation returns, clarity returns. If you found this helpful, subscribe to Nexplain.